Just got back from a run. Did a little over 3 miles. It's nice. It's cloudy out there. I don't know. It's clouds. You know what those look like. Um, Now this is the thing I've discovered recently. Cook the meat and then throw like vegetables in the pan. Ginger goes really good with these. Like the flavor dissipates, but it still has a little bit of spice essence. And then just put like the lid on, and it basically steams the broccoli and stuff without needing a steamer, and it's like way more effort efficient, sort of time efficient, but it's all just one pan, less cleaning.
Hi. Okay, look at this. This is Vasa. Vasa is nice and all, but you know what sucks? Is they have a women's only section. How do I zoom out? They got a women's only section. And you know, they don't tell you that it's a women's only section, and so you might accidentally walk in there and do a couple sets and start wondering where all the dudes are at. And it turns out they're just not allowed in there, including me. How the heck does this camera work? Zoom out. Hi. There we go. Gosh, it's like a 0.5. Yeah, so don't make that mistake or else people will bully you. Thanks, Vasa. Put up a sign, please. But that's it for today. Going to Walmart. Got the little trophy in the car still. And gonna put thumbtacks in the wall. Put a blanket over the window and so you can't see the light. Because right where my room is, they got a pickleball court right out the window. And they do not turn the lights off all night. And it's been messing with my sleep. And so I'm gonna go cover it with a blanket. And that's honestly it. Peace.
Okay, it's the end of the day. Luckily, the YouTube algorithm has figured it out. I'm actually kind of like this. It stopped showing the videos, which is kind of my hope that I can just make these and have the little back of my mind a sense of public accountability, but without people actually paying attention or caring, and that's nice. I like that, and I feel like there's a requirement to report on the day. So like an accountability again for doing a journal. And yeah, so that's just like the last video got 3 views and 2 comments, one of them being me. But funny thing on that, the Bitcoin, it's like it's all down. It's down by a lot, like 10% or something like that. So I think that was pretty funny. But today was a weird day. It was like a day I didn't meditate or something because I felt like I didn't exist today. Brief moments at the gym, but that's honestly it. And I don't know whether it's a lack of quality sleep or a lack of actively, cognitively being present, because I feel like it's an action you have to take. There was a brief time I watched the movie The Secret. I still find it cringy, but I still actually legitimately have not found any solid arguments against it. It's just the presence of gratitude equals happier life. That's the whole like thing. So I did that before going to the gym, and like the gym session was so much better. Like one, it was a good lift, good pump, but like I interacted with the people in better ways. So I could just type this out in the description, but now that I know that like maybe one person watches this far, cool, I can just say whatever I want to do. Yeah, another interesting thing that came up today. One of my friends at the company I work at got fired, and he apparently got fired like 2 weeks ago. I just been not there. And it very much reminded me of like Severance. It's kind of like when someone gets fired, it's essentially they're dying. And if theoretically, I'm not saying I believe in this, if this is all simulation and the whole universe is a existing solely in my mind, if a character is no longer playing in the TV show of my life, they're effectively dead. And so this person fired, I'm never going to see him again. It's possible, but it's unlikely. So very, very Severance-esque. That's the vibe I felt. But that's pretty much it for today. I hope tomorrow is better. I know it's going to be alright. I have a confirmed hangout. You know that feeling? I saw a meme a few years ago. It's like the feeling when you have a confirmed hangout at the end of the week. It's a good feeling, and I'm excited. Favorite of friends. We're going to be getting together and doing tacos. So I'm pretty stoked about that. That's it. And I'm just going to sleep in tomorrow. I think that could be a solution. But regardless, when I wake up, I'm going to have to go straight to the gym. I know that's the recurring theme. I get this big data sheet. I'll open it up real quick and show you. I call it Lambda Theta, because I asked ChatGPT what the Greek letters that most are most representative of free will, I think. And for some reason, I decided Lambda, which I know Lambda is like a cool symbol because of Half-Life. But then the theta next to it actually looked like really cool. Like, look at this.
Lambda theta.
But you know, I keep track of all this health data. The past 2 days I actually haven't done it, and today was the first day I didn't track every single calorie. For like 2 months, I would weigh all the food and literally do the math for all of it. Not that I did math, but I entered it in like an app and it just did it all for me. But the running theme, I should add like a column of data for this. Like I have all my constant like weight metrics. If I woke up with an alarm or not, what time I woke up, quality sleep, what the sleep score on my watch says, and what I perceive it to be. Other data things like going to the gym, cold plunge, stuff like that. That's where I originally started journaling, was because of this column. Well, this is the dream journal one. That was a fun one, but like all of these are journal entries for a while, and I literally used Google Sheets as my software until one day I accidentally deleted a whole entry and I could not get it back through Control Z, and that just like made me super annoyed. So I stopped doing it in there, and then I started posting them on Docs, on Google Docs, and now I just post them on YouTube for the like me in the future. Yeah, this was all for the pursuit of like it's longevity. That's the podcast I listened to today was Brian Johnson and Mike Israel. I did On the Run. Awesome podcast. I really like just that concept of pursuit of the goal at all cost, that you go to first principle thinking to achieve that. And it's kind of weird, the idea that I guess I just haven't had set a goal to optimize everything towards. So I just kind of been like picking and seeing what other people are doing, other goals that are not mine. And gosh, it's funny when you articulate things that you're like, oh shoot, that makes sense, and I need to solve that. So, but for example, Mike Israel, he optimized through science and all these things the pursuit of gaining muscle mass, and so he does all that. Brian Johnson, on the other hand, optimizes for the pursuit of longevity, preservation of consciousness, and they both like talked it out, and it's like, yeah, we both are like using the same methodology, first principles, to achieve our different goals. And so I just gotta figure out what my goal is and optimize and gamify. And so this data collection is interesting because I didn't really know what the goal was, and so that's why I started putting all this together, just so down the line I would not regret not having ascertained all of this information. And now it's me talking about why I actually care about this is making me regretful for my decisions today and yesterday to not record. I actually have a lot of data stored in other places. I just like copy and paste it. Not copy and paste it. I literally have to like type all this out. That's one reason why it's quite inconvenient. To this data sheet. I wonder if there's any compromising information here. I have died. I guess you can see all of my core ear temperature. I'll show you how to do that. I got a thermometer for the ear, and this is why the Foley phones are really fun. I can make a little tripod. Turn it on, and then I put the thermometer in my ear, and then it tells a temperature. 97.9, higher than average. Not average for the population, but higher than average for me. I typically stay between like 65 or 96.5 and at 97.5. It also strongly, based off this data, I was able to make some correlation charts that the earlier my latest meal is, the lower my nighttime core ear temperature is. And it also pretty heavily determines the next morning's ear temperature. So it comes again to what's the goal, why I collect the data, and so I just got to figure out what that is. I think it is longevity, but I also think this one I actually like. I don't know if it's passion because of past, of not being like feeling justified and high, like understood or perceived by other people in the way you perceive yourself in your mind, or maybe self-perception being incompatible with the way people perceive you on the outside. Basically what I'm saying is like optimizing for looks. That's something I was always upset. Like when I was younger, I was very into like I did modeling stuff because I thought it would justify the feeling of, oh look, now I can like legally say, not like legally, but like I have a portfolio of proof that I actually look good, and do all that. And regardless, it's like, do you? Maybe, I don't know. I guess I got a little past that where I don't care, but I still think for the pursuit of like, oh, if I'm gonna go date someone, I like think it'd be way easier if I was like a 10, you know. But I don't have any like data or software that can analyze me, because I know any perception I have is going to be biased or like just not very useful data. It's qualitative, and that gets into the philosophical. I feel like philosophy is just you trying to quantitate the qualitative existence, you know. For example, the trolley problem. It's like, okay, do you want to kill one person to save 5 people? But what if those 5 people are pedophiles? It's easier. Yeah, you can say save the one person to kill the 5. But at what point of being less bad for those 5 people? Let's say they're not pedophiles. Let's say they're gosh, I'm realizing this is going to post on YouTube and it's going to get like whatever deleted. Is that the term? Censored? But let's say there are people who just are very annoying and mean people, whereas the person on the top track is just like the nicest person ever, and everyone really likes them, and they're good net benefit to society. How do you measure their net benefit compared to the 5 other people's net detriment and determine who to save? And that gets really complicated. Quite the tangent, but that's kind of my take on what philosophy is that is just you attempting to qualitate the quantitative. I said that backwards. You're trying to put numbers to what cannot be numbered. This is a lot longer than a normal video of mine. 10 minutes. Gosh. Yeah, those are my thoughts to the public catalog of my mind. And I think talking about it makes tomorrow better, because I'm sure in a year when I watch this, and then hopefully in a year it still only has like one view, being me, I can know that my mind is personal, but still, once again, the benefits of public accountability. So that's it for the YouTube video today. Frankly, I'm impressed if anyone watched this through. I know no one's going to tomorrow or tonight or any time in the next year, but maybe someday if I do something of great importance, people, like I like to do this on YouTube, I'll go see what their oldest YouTube videos are and see how terrible they were. Like, I'm thinking like going back and watching Dax Flame. This is like the modern day Dax Flame right here. Raw and authentic, because I don't think anyone's actually gonna watch these, at least in a time frame that I care about, because let's say 10 years down the road someone watches these in the same way that I watch old Dax Flame videos. It's like, that's not actually me anymore. It's the ship of Theseus, but with consciousness, and that's confusing. So yeah, anyways, good night for real. Yeah, peace.